Is Jesus Lord of your underwear? That's the question. Verse 7, just as Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, which likewise indulged in sexual immorality and pursued unnatural desire, serve as an example. Serve as an example by undergoing a punishment of eternal fire. So we'll talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. What I love when you preach through books of the Bible, you hit some things that otherwise you probably wouldn't pick for a series, right? Hey, let's talk about people on fire. But that's what it says. So here's the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's back in the book of Genesis. You can go to realfaith.com. I preached every verse of the book of Genesis. If you want to look into it, it's all there. So there was a town called Sodom and Gomorrah, two nearby towns, and then surrounding smaller villages, cities. And they were absolutely committed to sexual sin. No boundaries of any sort or kind. God waited patiently, and then his patience came to an end. And God decided that he was going to send a nuclear strike to eviscerate everyone and everything in that region. If you're not going to stop, I'll make you stop. Okay, this is what God does. Now, the problem is there's one guy who moved his family into Sodom. I don't know why. Like, he's a believer. He's like, there's a good deal on real estate in the brothel section of Vegas. You're like, I don't know why are you moving your family there? Just rent. I mean, So he moves his wife and his two daughters into Sodom. So God's like, I'm going to send a nuclear strike, literally flaming road tar. But the problem is there's a believing family there. So God sends two angels in as messengers and ministers. They come appearing as men, and the goal is to get Lot and his family out before they're destroyed. Okay? He is a relative of Abraham. And if you know anything about Lot, he's a lot of problems, a lot of drama, a lot of stupidity, a lot of foolishness. He's a lot, okay? He's a lot. Here's what happens in Genesis 19:5. The angels appearing as men show up. It says they, the men of Sodom, and in context, that previous verse in Genesis 19:4 has a haunting phrase. It says, as the men showed up, I'll read it to you in a moment, all the other men of the city came outside of the house and said, hey, let them out. We want to sexually enjoy and or assault them right now. And it says in verse 4, the males, great and small, little boys that had been abused by older men and then groomed to participate in that which is absolutely despicable and deplorable. And the same pressure is in our day to sexualize children at the youngest possible age. So two angels show up and all the men of the city are, we heard there's two visitors. We've had sex with everybody else in town. If there's two new guys, we want to sleep with them too. They, the men of Sodom, including the boys, called to Lot. Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them. Pastor Mark, they're consenting adults. Pastor Mark, they're not hurting anybody. Pastor Mark, you're supposed to be tolerant. And God says, nuclear strike. Let me just tell you this. Hell is tolerant. Everybody's welcome. Heaven isn't. You need Jesus. That's just the way it is. So as soon as this happens, there's an entire group of people in Jude's day as well as our day. They're like, we have a new interpretation of Genesis. Yeah, it sounds like sex, but that's not what the word means in the Hebrew. You're not a Hebrew scholar. You're just a horny man. It's just, and so, but the word is consistently translated sex. It's in the study guide. I show my work. You can get the study guide at realfaith.com or on the way out. 3 times in chapter 4, twice in chapter 19 of Genesis, and once in chapter 24, it's translated sex. The guy's like, hey, we want to have sex with those guys. In addition, all the English translations that are sane, they all translate this word accordingly. Fornication or impurity, immoral sexual relations, sexual sins, perversions, gross sexual immorality, lust of every kind, sexual promiscuity, sexual perversions, the wrong way of using sex, and whoredom. I might just point out, those are all negative. Right? I mean, so he uses this language that what they're guilty of and what is incensed God's wrath is their unnatural desires. Okay. I know some of you are progressive and you're liberal. So when you go to the grocery store, how many of you like the natural section? The organic section? You're like, oh, I like that's good for you. Yeah. Don't just be natural at the grocery store, be natural in your bedroom. Right? Anyways, so natural is the way that God created it and intended it. Unnatural is a deviation from that which is natural. Okay. I'll just, my caring meter broke a long time ago. I just tell you right now. It just broke. So 4 things: sex, gender, marriage, sexuality. So according to the Bible, sex, we are made male and female. Okay? Male and female, right? You're like, and if you don't know, the plumbing is an indicator which team you're on, okay? Male and female. Sex, gender. Men should be masculine. Women should be feminine. Anything other than that is unnatural. So the Bible has a crazy line. I did a whole series on it for real men. Act like a man. You know what that means? There's men, and they should act like men. That's what it means. I know it's a crazy interpretation. I'm going to let you know a secret. I'm a man, and I'm masculine. Okay? My wife is a woman. I'm so happy to report she's not masculine. She's feminine. Sex, gender, marriage. Marriage is for one man, one woman. And then they consummate their covenant and they have sex. Sex is between a husband and a wife who are masculine and feminine, male and female. And then this is so natural, it actually produces more people. It's crazy. It's so effective, it multiplies. It's insane. Okay? So then you're supposed to raise sons and daughters. It's in the Bible. It doesn't say androgynous children who get to determine in the public school at 9. It says raise sons and daughters. To grow up and be men and women who are masculine and feminine and get married and have sex and give you grandkids. That's the plan. Everything else, unnatural. Unnatural. Thanks for joining me. My name is Pastor Mark. I've been teaching the Bible for more than 3 decades and head on constant collisions with woke culture. And I would love to get you more Bible teaching. 2 things you can do. Go ahead and watch the sermon in total and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll just keep sending you Bible teaching and we'll have a lot more fun together.